to the iBody. I'm Dr. Tostado. We're located in San Marino, California. And I'm going to be discussing adrenal fatigue, which is really common amongst a lot of my clients. And in fact, what my belief is that everybody has adrenal fatigue until proven otherwise. So what is adrenal fatigue? Well, adrenal fatigue has to do with our bodies being overstressed, and we have these organs known as the adrenal glands that sit above our kidneys that produce our sex hormones, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, DHEA. They also produce epinephrine and aldosterone for our salt balance in our body, and cortisol, which is the stress hormone of our bodies. So as human beings, we are subjected to stress on a daily basis, whether it's traffic, our family, kids, our boss, whatever the case might be. And also because a lot of the foods that we eat that are filled with preservatives, toxins, things like antibiotics and hormones, chemicals and cosmetics, plastics that we drink out of, heavy metals, all of these things that we are exposed to on a daily basis from both our food and environment put tremendous stress on our bodies. And what happens is that our adrenal glands start to produce cortisol at elevated levels chronically. Some of you may remember the flight or fight response from middle school, where we learned that if a zebra is being chased by a lion, all of a sudden it gets into the mode of escape. So its heart starts to beat fast, the muscles get more blood, and it can escape the situation. Once the zebra realizes it's out of danger, it starts to calm down and relax. However, the situation with the human body is that we are subjected to stresses from, as I mentioned before, what we eat and what it is that we experience, and we hold on to this, and cortisol levels continue to increase and stay elevated. This is not a good situation. This is what leads to adrenal fatigue or adrenal exhaustion. High cortisol levels will result in diabetes, high blood pressure, cravings of sugars, a decreased immune system, chronic fatigue, decreased testosterone levels, an imbalance in hormone levels, as well as increased illness and fat being increased on our abdomen where the cortisol receptors are, and thighs. So insomnia as well. So this whole picture of adrenal fatigue is very common, and one way that could easily be addressed is balancing cortisol levels through nutrition and through detoxification. What happens is that as our body experiences adrenal fatigue, there's a signal from the brain to tell our thyroid to slow down its metabolism. Why? Well, with all this increased cortisol, the body has a way of safeguarding against elevated levels of cortisol by producing more fat, so that it could dilute all these cortisol levels in our bodies. So the brain will therefore slow down our metabolism. So whether we're dieting or exercising, it doesn't matter. The body's going to hold on to this fat so that it can keep the cortisol diluted. So the mechanism between the brain and the thyroid and the adrenal works in sync. So by going through detoxification, removing toxicities that increase cortisol levels, we can then nourish the adrenals back to health, which allows the thyroid to slowly, over months, to start recuperating, increasing gradually to burn off the fat, since the cortisol levels are decreasing, and therefore it does not have to maintain all this fat to dilute the cortisol. So this is how the thyroid function and the cortisol function work in tandem. One is elevated, the other one is decreased. So we're looking for balance here. So speaking of thyroid function, as I just mentioned, ties into our adrenal function. Many times patients are diagnosed with hypothyroidism and given what's known as Synthroid or T4. Well, T4 is not the actual active hormone. T4 in reality is in our system, and unless it's converted to T3, it doesn't function in terms of improving our overall health and physiology and metabolism. So you might still feel fatigue on T4. You still feel listless, decreased focus, depression, constipation, weight gain, temperature intolerance. So in terms of thyroid function, what really truly needs to be measured is your T3 level and what's known as reverse T3 to see if there's a mechanism in your body not allowing you to convert your T4 to your T3. When your T3 is normalized, body temperature starts to normalize, metabolism starts to normalize, your overall well-being starts to improve. And T3 is actually simply a 30-day treatment. After that, as your body temperature normalizes, it can lock in for years. Improved attitude, mood, body physiology, and function. So that is the whole purpose of addressing the thyroid, specifically by looking at T3 levels. So, many reasons that T3 is not optimized is because we are subjected to toxins, as I've mentioned, whether it's heavy metals, you find them in toothpaste, in tooth fillings, certain seafood, things like cadmium, mercury, arsenic, lead, as well as preservatives and pesticides and herbicides that are used in farming practices. And this is why it's critical that we start eating organically so that we have less chemicals introduced into our bodies, subjecting our bodies to more stress. Because what does stress lead to? Higher cortisol and decreased metabolic function. So your thyroid is going to be under-functioning. So, cleaning up our nutrition, removing toxicity from our body, allows our body to go more towards balance, and we have better thyroid function, better T3 distribution in our body, better conversion of T4 to T3, and body balance. So the adrenals and the thyroid, as well as the brain, all work together in a circuit to look for body balance. And when something's out of whack, everything will be out of whack until we can find the solution to getting you back into balance. That is adrenal fatigue, and that is thyroid function. Thank you very much.